Welcome to another episode on A Message for Her podcast. I'm your host, Gina Gegeoju.
I do not like being called baby girl by anybody. Not my mama, not my dad, not my grandparents, not my man. Don't call me baby girl. I'm not your baby girl.
We can't accept it.
Yeah, but we get it.
Because we can't recognize it. But then we give it.
Yeah.
Can you talk to a grade one, please?
My whole premise is just being able to help as many people as I can. So all of my life I've been a jack of all trades, and I've taken that and put it into community. Where like when you were kids, we kind of just say, oh, this is my friend, and this is my friend, and this is my friend, and this is my friend. It's not that we don't understand friendship, it's that we don't understand boundaries.
But then I think it's the joy of you trusting that it wasn't like, malicious.
No.
It's actually like what was happening. And I think that's the importance of having friends that are kind of walking the same
I'm just not. I can be
like,
social.
Yeah.
I'm sociable, but I have to have the energy to give it. And if I
battery
don't,
run. I am so excited for today's guest, and I'm excited for what we're going to talk about. But my intention today and the hope that I have for you guys is that you end up having clarity on the different relationships that you have in your life. Mm-hmm. I also want you guys to hope you can get like pointers to how you can continue to navigate your life. And this has helped me tremendously in my life, because some of the hurt that we experience is just because we put people in places they're not meant to be, or we just don't understand that, it's ebbs and flows, people come in seasons. So she's been one of my greatest teachers, though she's younger than me, okay? And also the other thing that I would say, that she's a friend, and she has also helped me with my kids' have eczema, and she has done a brilliant job putting a formula together that has helped them with their skin throughout the winter. She wears so many hats, I can't even begin to tell you guys. But it's my greatest joy to welcome one of my greatest friends to have this conversation with, Jalise Kitty. Miss Kitty, if you're nasty.
Thank you.
Hi, Jay. That was too much. I tried to not be scripted, and I was
I love it.
The flow now.
I love it. It's great.
Here.
It's great.
Is it. Tell the people who you are, because I was like, even right now, I was like trying to tell people that okay, Jay has a business. She's an entrepreneur. She does ABCD. I'm like, I can't butcher it. I can't do it.
No,
so I'm gonna let her do it.
I do a lot. I do a lot of work in community. I love what I do. My whole premise is just being able to help as many people as I can. So all of my life I've been a jack of all trades, and I've taken that and put it into community. Where can I use the skills that I have and the way that my brain works and the knowledge that I have, and put it into community in a way that it is impactful, it is beneficial, and it's not harmful.
I really love that, because I met her in those roles. And then I remember the first time ever, we just kind of talked for hours. It was meant to be just like a 10-minute thing, like, hey, how's it going? I came to drop off something. And then we just got into it, and then you just figure we align in so many things, and every conversation that we walk into, we always leave with something.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's my one thing that I always want to tell you, the viewers, that if you get into any conversation, allowing yourself to learn something, you will learn something. You never leave a conversation empty-handed, which brings us to our topic today. We're going to be talking about friendships. So I have, friendships can give you the greatest joy, but they can give you the greatest hurt.
Yeah.
If you do not understand the different, I don't know, I'm gonna let Jalise do that. So the reason why I was I'm not even gonna try, she has this tree analogy that has really helped me be able to understand the relationships that I have in my life. And I'm gonna let Jalise expand on it more.
Okay. I think of all relationships like trees, and I think that friendships, actually, when friendships dissolve, it hurts you more than like romantic or intimate relationships a lot of the time, because there's a level of intimacy that you reach that isn't physical with a person that you share all of who you are with.
Definitely.
And so I think of it as a tree because there are people that are leaves. They're only there for a season. They change every season. They're not the people that are supposed to be with you throughout the whole duration of your life. Then there are people that are branches. They're around or along for the journey longer than leaves, but even branches fall off at some point. They dry out, or you realize they're taking out of the tree rather than being part of it, and you have to cut it off. You have to let it go. And then, of course, there are roots. The roots are the foundation of the tree. The roots support the tree's growth. They nurture the tree. They bring in the nutrients. They even at times tell you if the soil around you is not good for you. And so roots are the real friends, the real relationships that you know that no matter how the seasons change or what the weather is, they're not going to disappear as easily as the branches or the leaves.
Okay, so when we talk about leaves, are those seasonal friendships that, like, you're going through a divorce, so now you're gonna align with Linda, who's going through the same situation, and you kind of walk that path together. But once maybe you both go into like counseling or something, it just kind of fizzled out because you just connected on that one area.
That could be, that's a great example. That could definitely be, sorry, Linda's.
I'm really sorry. I don't know why that was the name that came to mind. Like, I am actually sorry if your name is Linda, because I do love you and I'm so glad you're here.
That could be it, right? Because you're going through counseling. As you're healing, you might part ways. The healing journey itself looks different, so that might have you going separate directions. I think of it as those friends you meet over the summer in a city you've never been to. You're around for maybe just the summer, or your summer camp friends growing up, where you go there and it's like, oh, we're all in this together, and you're there together, so it makes sense that you get along. But then after summertime's over, it's fall now and nobody's answering those text messages
because it's done. And also, that's it. You reminded me of a book I read once, and it said that sometimes we are a coincidence of our schedule.
Yeah.
So now, because me and you show up at the same job at 7:00, and our lunch is at 1, so we end up sitting together in the cafeteria together.
Right.
And then, we go to the same gym. But then we actually miss understanding, like, are we actually friends?
Yeah.
And we don't understand that we're just a result of the schedule.
Exactly.
And then that's where hurt actually occurs, because now we're sitting together at lunch, we're in the gym together, and maybe we discover we live a couple blocks away from each other, so we're carpooling.
Yeah.
And now I start telling you all kinds of stuff about my life that I'm not supposed to be divulging to you.
Yeah. And it's just the boundaries, right? Understanding what the boundaries are. Your colleagues at work are not necessarily your friends. And friendship is intentional. And I think that people think of it as something that just happens, because I think, like, when you were kids, we kind of just say, oh, this is my friend, and this is my friend, and this is my friend, and this is my friend. It's not that we don't understand friendship, it's that we don't understand boundaries. But as we get older and those boundaries develop, we start to realize that not everybody we call friend is friend. And we have to actually identify them for who they are. Colleague, acquaintance, then they can be friend, or if you want a category between acquaintance and friend, then it's intentional. It's intentional communication, it's intentional boundaries, it's intentional conversation, it's intentional time and care, and even observation of the other person. It's not just as simple as, you're my friend now, you have to come home with me, because that's kidnapping.
That's kidnapping in its own way, but also kidnapping that's just going to cost you more than money.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now when we talk about, like, understanding that this is a colleague, or sometimes people can move from the different, like, categories, where it's like, okay, we started off as colleagues, but then now, you know what, I've actually gotten to know Jaleese, and now I can call you my friend.
Yeah.
How do we know when somebody is actually, what are some of the signs? Because we might not be able to run them all, but just us understanding, like, what are some of those qualities that I'll be like, oh, this is like my friend.
I think that's dependent on each person, because what my qualities of friendship are won't necessarily be what your qualities of friendship are. So I'm a low maintenance person. My friends are, you know this. If you don't talk to me for 4 months, I don't care. Like, we're still friends. If you message me in the middle of the night, be like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I've missed you. It's been like a year we haven't spoken, and I know, like, my brain doesn't go, that's not my friend anymore because we haven't spoken and she didn't spend quality time with me and she missed my birthday. Like, I don't think that. So my definition of friendship
might be different.
Right.
Okay, so just in that like little thing you say, there's so many things that came out.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, you know, like for you, somebody not remembering your birthday, it's not that deep.
No.
Right? But then when we really look at it, like somebody, because we know how there's friends, it's like an onion, right? There's some that are, you know, the tree analogy, yes, there's the leaves, there's the branches, there's the trunk, and
which
there's
is
the
you,
roots, right?
Yeah.
So, the trunk is me.
The trunk is you.
There we go. That, see, I forgot that.
The trunk is you.
The trunk is me. But how, if somebody is a root in your life, like you've been writing, they know the ins and out of your life. Is it okay though for them to just say like, Jay, like I forgot your birthday, sis?
I've had this actually happen.
Okay, walk me through that.
Sure. I think of life as a never-ending circus ride or roller coaster you can't get off.
Yeah. Accurate.
So if life circumstances are preventing that person from showing up the way they normally do, the way that I've seen them show up in over so many years,
there's a track record.
Then I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, you forgot my birthday. And in the first couple of years, I don't even tell anybody my birthday. So.
She's very special. Like, we just love Julie's.
So if you forget, either you didn't know or you do know, and life circumstances, the things that are happening around you are so overwhelming, so overstimulating, that you're unable to show up in the capacity that you usually do.
You'd want to.
Right.
Yeah, so what I'm getting from that is that, like, when it's those root friendships that you've built, so we've been together for a while, I know you love me, even if without you saying it.
Yeah.
So I can understand that it wasn't just like, oh, I know it's Julie's birthday, I'm just not gonna do it. Right. You know them enough that they were actually busy, they had stuff going on. So sometimes you might actually be triggered to check in on them.
Yeah.
Because you know that how can they miss like these pivotal moments in your life. And then we talk about low maintenance friendships. People have so much to say about. I love a low maintenance friendship.
Me
I
too.
can't even
Me
lie.
too.
Like, especially I think the older we get,
yeah,
it's just like nice. Like there was a time definitely where we can be able to call each other all the time and spend hours on the phone and do all these different things. But I just find now, like with the other roles and the other hats that we wear, it's more intentionality.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so it's very low maintenance. Like as you say, like we don't have to talk every day, but when we do, we're right here.
Exactly.
Right.
Didn't skip
and if I am driving and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to Julissa in like a minute, then I'll pick up the phone and I'll say, hey, like, how's it going? And sometimes it's literally that weird. I'm like, girl, like, I know I saw you, but I actually forgot to say hi. Like, how are you? Right. Yeah. But then I think it's the joy of you trusting that it wasn't like, you know, malicious.
No.
It's actually like what was happening. And I think that's the importance of having friends that are kind of walking the same walk as you, like, you know, building and all this stuff, that we can understand each other's pain points.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it makes it easier. And also it depends on the love language. Everybody has a love language, right?
Yes, everybody has a love language. I do. I think a lot of the time the love languages that we avoid are the ones that we didn't get growing up. I'm sorry.
Excuse you. What? Run it back.
Okay. I believe that a lot of the time the love languages that we avoid are the ones that we didn't get growing up.
So it's not necessarily saying that it's not my love language. It's just that
I'm not used to it.
I'm not used to it.
Right.
So sometimes you might think you're actually loving me, but because I can't recognize it.
Exactly.
I can't accept it and I can't count it as you loving me.
Yeah, but it's oftentimes the actual love language that we end up giving to other people.
Oh shit.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, no, we need to dissect this because we can't accept it.
Yeah. But we get it.
Because we can't recognize it, but then we give it.
Yeah.
Can you talk to a grade 1, please? Like, I'm in a ChatGPT moment where I'm like, can you explain this? Like, explain to 7-year-olds.
Okay. I'll use myself as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, quality time wasn't exactly prominent in my family. Because we all had, like, my mom had enrolled us into a bunch of different things. Piano, swimming, like, sports. So the only time we were actually together was, like, on the weekend. And even then, we were enrolled in activities, like, on the weekend. So there wasn't a lot of quality time. There was quality time, but when it happened, it was very intentional. Like, tonight we're going to watch a movie as a family. We're going to do dinner as a family tonight. There are no activities. We're going to take a break. We're going to spend time together. This weekend, we're going to go camping, something.
Yeah.
So when people would want to spend time with me, I'd be like, ew. Like, my partner, he wants to... When we first started dating, he'd want to spend time, or I would say, like, I want quality time.
Yeah.
But then when he would actually want to spend time with me, I'd be like, ew, like, what is this?
What is this? But sometimes you don't even recognize that you're refusing it, but it's what you need.
Yeah.
So then there's, like, discord in the relationship, because it's like, I need it, but I can't accept it because I can't recognize it. Yeah. But then when I'm speaking now and I'm angry, I might say, like, you don't spend time with me.
I wanted it on my own terms.
Ooh.
So if I wanted quality time, it had to be like, okay, now I want quality time. Like, my work schedule is not too crazy. I can be intentional. I can be present.
Being in control.
Exactly. And I know that I want quality time, but I didn't know how to voice really and truly that I want quality time, because I'm used to being alone. I like being alone. Like, I'm most comfortable alone, and people don't really realize that. And everyone says, but you're an extrovert. I'm like, I'm really not. I promise you that much. I promise. If you leave me alone,
there's
I'll
a
be
word
happy.
for it, where it's like, you are an extrovert, but, like, you're not.
I can promise you, I'm
there's
just not. I'm just not. I can be social.
Yeah.
I'm sociable, but I have to have the energy to give it. And
The battery runs out.
The battery runs out.
To go recharge, and you have to be by yourself.
Yeah.
So what I love about that, in terms of, like, loving to spend time with yourself, is that I always say, when you have people in your life, but you are capable of spending time with you and enjoying you, it becomes a bonus.
Yeah.
It doesn't become a need.
Yeah. Because
then it becomes dangerous at some point. Because if I need you for me to be functional, then when I don't have you, I'm not functional. Then I'm really dependent on it. And that can show up in friendships too.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, now you need me to do this, but then for me, I need to hold my own identity.
Yeah.
For me to be, like, functional.
Exactly. So, like, the first year, I'll say, it was weird because we lived in the same city and we wouldn't see each other, like, 2 weeks at a time. And it was just like, he's an introvert, I'm an introvert. We were very comfortable just texting and saying, how are you doing? You good? And then going about our lives, even though we were in a relationship. So
but it worked.
It worked, but it was very strange for anybody who was around us that knew that we were in a relationship, because they'd be like, when's the last time you've seen, like, how does that feel? Isn't that weird? And for us, it wasn't weird. We both have lives. We're not attached at the hip. And we didn't feel like we needed to be. But when I wanted quality time, I knew that I started to get used to saying, hey, what are you doing today? Can we just spend time together? Like,
and then being okay too, if he was to say, like, hey, today I just want to hang. Yeah. Right? Because I find, like, those are some of the things that are liberating, to live life on your own terms. Because not everybody's going to understand the whys of why you want to do certain things and the whys you don't do certain things.
Yeah.
It was you and your partner, and it works because that's what you do. Yeah. We can't keep watching, like, couple goals and stuff. No, you're going to have to build your own goals. You're going to have to normalize certain things. And I think for me, that was part of the pain, right? Even in friendships, even in, like, marriage and stuff, is that you grow up with this, like, marriage is supposed to be like this, and when you have a friend, you're supposed to call you and you're supposed to go to the mall together. So now you're almost following this 10-step thing, which is not realistic to you or the other person. Yeah. But once you start communicating and like, oh, you know what, I'm really good when you have to go to the movies with 10 other friends, like, I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this, right?
Yeah.
And then the other person doesn't feel that, oh, maybe I'm leaving Jalisa out. No, she's actually just
I'm okay.
because there's that understanding. So,
yeah. It creates an environment where one person has very high expectations that the other person can't meet, but then the other person's overwhelmed by those expectations.
And sometimes it's just uncommunicated because I'm just thinking we're friends, sis. Like, so I'm gonna expect we're gonna do Valentine's, okay? I'm gonna expect that it's my birthday. Let's do certain things. But these are the expectations I have on the friendship that I didn't speak upon. And for you, you might just figure like,
what's
Valentine's? No, like, why? Like, we hang out all the, like, it doesn't rank in importance in your life, but doesn't mean that it's not important. So communicating in friends when you're like root relationships, because they matter, because they're gonna withstand the different seasons, which is gonna bring me to my next question.
Okay.
What makes someone a root relationship? For them to be like, you anchor me. What are some of those things, like, generally? We definitely like made the point that what I consider a friend is different, but for me, I find some of our stuff might actually be the same, because I do go through seasons where I'm going in and I'm really focused on what I'm working on, that I'm not thinking. It's not that I'm not thinking about my friends, but then I'm just really like zoned in. But then for other friends that can't understand that, they will take that as like, oh my gosh, she just doesn't want to talk to me, or like, but then for me, I'm just like, you're good. I know you're good.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not good, you're going to let me know.
At some point, I hope.
Right? That's what I'm trusting, that even if we don't talk, we're fine. And for me, that's kind of like that root friendship where it's like, they're going to stand time, places, and things, because we just know that we're right.
Yeah.
Like, if you need me, I'm going to be there. If something that's pivotal in your life, I'm going to be. And if I'm not there, you trust that I can't make it for the love of God.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what are some of those things that make someone a root relationship?
I actually thought about this on the way here. I just kept thinking, what does make a person a root? And realistically, it's that person. It's their characteristics, their qualities that make them a root. It's not you. Because everybody shows up for who they want to, the way they want to. And that in and of itself is information. So the way that I'll show up for you might not be the way I show up for somebody else. And that's because the boundaries I have with that person is different. And I was actually having this conversation earlier this week, and literally I thought about that even more, because our relationship is defined by the way you treat me and I treat you. But somebody else might think I'm a bad guy because of how I treat them. So a root relationship can't be forced. It has to happen naturally, and it's dependent on the two people that are part of that relationship. Because I might be a root for somebody that's not a root for me.
Yes.
Right.
You know when you call somebody your best friend?
And they're not
and
your best friend.
And then to them, they're just like, I know Jalise. And like when I see Jalise, we just kiki.
Right.
But you're feeling like in those moments of kiki, we're actually like best friends.
Right.
And that's hurtful. That's hurtful.
So it's dependent on the person, who they want to be in your life, how they want to show up in your life. Because, and this is the other thought that I had in the car, and I was like, oh, I have to say that. Okay, so when a plant is growing, it has its initial roots.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, the roots look good, they look strong. And then you're like, okay, the plant is getting bigger, it's been getting a lot of nutrients from the roots that it has now. It's time to switch it over to a new environment, a new pot, new soil, so I can continue to get bigger and grow healthy. And then all of a sudden, roots start to fall off. There are some people in our lives that show up as roots in that particular environment. But the moment that we shift environments, they drop off. And that will only temporarily stunt the growth of the plant itself. But it doesn't kill it entirely. But it's important that we identify who our actual roots are. Who's going to withstand not only changes in season, but changes in the environments. Because life is not consistent. We don't stay the same people. We don't stay in the same environments, whether it's we're moving locations because of work or like literally anything. Life is so full of mishaps and opportunities, and not everybody is supposed to walk into different environments with you, walk into different spaces with you, or maintain your ecosystem.
I love that we went there because I love the analogy, but also it's one of those things that I think a lot of people struggle with when they do realize that they're changing environments, right? Where they're going from, I'm trying to find the best example, but like let's just use the one that like you're changing for work.
Yeah.
It could be like a promotion and it demands more of you, like more hours, more this, like, but then sometimes then you're thinking, you're feeling guilty because you're like, I feel like I'm leaving my friends behind.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not about you though, because sometimes your growth also means their growth.
Right.
So it's not always about you. So sometimes it is necessary for both people, and it doesn't have to be forever.
Yeah.
Because life is constantly changing and you constantly rediscover
Absolutely.
yourself, and you kind of, as cliche as it sounds, you find your way back to each other if you're meant to be walking the same path.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was going to say that when we talk about the different friendships, right? When we talk about roots and a season, or like, I think the ones that matter the most is like those roots, because we have decided that, you know what, I'm going to be part of your root. But then when people have these friendships, are they sitting down and being like, hey, like, so, like, you know, this is how I love, and just understanding how the other person moves so that it avoids those misunderstandings. So you're not always going to be roots with people that think the same way you do or operate in the same way you do.
Yeah.
So how can that be solved? Is it by having those conversations where it's just like, hey, my name is Jaleese, and you know what, I'm for world peace. I'm for world peace. Or is it something that you can just lane? Somebody say the same way you date someone and decide to marry them.
Yeah.
That is the same way you should be dating people before you qualify them even to be a leaf, even to be a branch, because as much as leaves will fall off, they're going to be on that tree for a while, for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Branches, even worse, right? Unless you chop it off or like, it falls on by itself.
Yeah.
But then before you can qualify people in these different categories, I think they should be friend dating.
I agree. And
you don't?
No, I do. I think conflict oftentimes exposes a lot about who we are. Because if we're friends and we have a conflict and there's no forgiveness, then that tells us that kind of exposes some of what we think about friendship and the way that we love, but also the way that we forgive and the way that we apologize. So, no, I don't think I've had a conversation with any of my friends about like any of my
contract. This is how you're gonna be calling me, okay? And if you call me 50 times, it's just not gonna work for me. No.
No, I don't think I've had a conversation, like a real sit-down conversation with any of my roots to say, how do you love? What's your love language? I observed that through the quality time that we spend, or through the conversations that we've had, or through things that they've mentioned, or
listening.
Like, it's just because the relationships are symbiotic. So yes, I am the main part of the tree, the trunk, and they're the roots. So, but the roots and the tree have to work together.
Yeah, to bring the nutrients up.
Right. So I don't think I've had any of those conversations. I've just decided to observe over time. People will show you who they are. Bless you.
I'm sorry.
And it's important that you trust and believe that who they're showing you to be is who they are. Not the words that they say, not because, they showed up at this time and it was something big and they came and they took pictures. Not because when you call them and you're upset, they're like, well, yeah, I guess I'll listen to you, bend to your feelings. Like, the real roots will nurture you and love you and care for you in ways that will make you see yourself better, not worse.
I like that very much. Like, the roots will make you see yourself better.
Yeah, because
Like they'll even
expose.
see what's good in you when you can't see it.
Yeah, but they also
Yeah.
see what's bad in you when you can't
And
see
be
it.
able to say it with love where you can receive it.
Yeah.
I say that it's never what anybody says to me. It's timing and it's how. If I'm in the moment of things happening and Jay are trying to reason, oh Gina, I think you're wrong. I'm not, I can't.
Can't hear it.
If I can't receive it, then it's a waste.
Yeah.
Right? But if you see me rage, if it's not fighting or anything crazy, you can wait and be like, bruv, last week was really like not a good look, right? You were wrong, you should apologize, whatever. Then we can deal with it.
Yeah.
But then also it's your delivery because it's coming from, that somebody say, do you need somebody you can trust with bad news?
Absolutely.
That's like another telltale sign of like a root. Somebody who can come and tell you that my examples are terrible.
Wow.
But because I'm about to talk about like if somebody, not me, not any of you, not any of us, just an example, that if somebody is cheating, like say somebody's cheating on their husband or wife, right? There's gonna be people that will just be like, oh my god, yeah, like so you can't really trust it because you don't know the intention behind it.
Right.
But somebody who's your root, they're not gonna make that stuff up.
No.
They will come and be like, Jay, what I saw today, I didn't even, and they will even handle it with so much care. Knowing you to say like, how do I give you this, right? So those are some of the telltale signs of having somebody who can be like your root, and somebody who's willing to understand that when we are getting to know each other, there's times we're gonna misunderstand each other because
Absolutely.
Nobody comes with a manual.
No.
But then the goal is that the same habits are not repeating.
Yeah, and if it's something that's a part of who you are, like that's just something you've been doing for years, so it takes you time to not do that. Okay, I'll give you an example. One of my closest friends, she's known me for, oh my gosh, how many years has it been? 11 years. 11 years. And she is just, like, we're very opposite. She's very much the girly girl. She loves the bright pinks and the makeup and the high heels and the everything. And I'm just not that person. But one thing that she does is the people that are very, very, very close to her, she's very selective. She calls them baby girl.
Oh, so that's the thing. So
That's
when you're
the
baby
thing.
girl, you're a root.
I do not like being called baby girl by anybody. Not my mama, not my dad, not my grandparents, not my man. Don't call me baby girl. I'm not your baby girl. Like that's immediately my thought, but that's because of the way that I grew up.
Yeah.
I've always been a tomboy. I've always been like, ugh, like the visceral reaction that I have when somebody calls me baby girl.
It's just not it. Sort of thing.
Right. And sometimes
I love how you just crack yourself up.
it's so funny. Sometimes like she'll call me baby girl and then she'll go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know you don't like that. And for me, I know it's a part of her vocabulary. I know it's her way of showing love. So I laugh it off. I say to her all the time, like, it's fine, girl. It's just you.
Yeah,
and she's probably the only person that gets away with it.
Yeah, because to you, you're not only her root, she's also yours,
My root,
right?
yeah.
So there's those things too that I was gonna say that there are those people that can be able to see you at your lowest of lows and highest of highs and not see you any different.
Yeah.
And still see the potential in you and still see all these things that you can do and still be able to show up for you. Because some people always want to show up when it's great.
Yep.
And that's why she was referring to that you begin to observe, because observation is one of the greatest ways. And now the one thing that I've said lately is that people will tell you who they are through their either actions when you speak, or either they will actually say it. If you pay attention, you will see it, and please believe it the first time.
The first time, that red flag that you're like, I'm an observational friend, so I'll give you like 3, 4, maybe 5 chances because I want to see, is this something that is consistent, or is it just the way that you decide to treat me? Because there are people.
I just got excited. I think you know what I'm gonna say. You know, like the that Judas had a bad heart.
Yes.
And Peter had a moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So I think it's about seeing those things where it's like, does this person, if they have a bad heart, that's not gonna change, sorry.
No.
But if they just had a moment. And I think that has helped me like give that much grace, because also I'm a product of having like been really disappointed with friends, and I'm pretty sure other people will say, oh, Gina is disappointed me too. So it's been like a learning curve and learning how to handle people with care, so I can be handled with care in turn, because you give to another person what you desire for yourself.
Yeah.
And usually that works itself out. But then at one point I became like, that thing was like, if I see something, forget that. Like, I'm not dealing with it, because I know that it's just gonna become something else. But it's not really fair, because that's when I have to sit and be like, okay, was there a bad moment? But the only way I can know if it was a moment is by giving another chance. But then if you see it come up again, then it's like,
yeah. After time number 3, I know what it is. Like, my hands are off. I'm just like, okay,
we know what time it is, girl. Like,
this is how you operate. And before I even get to friendship with people, I like to see how they operate with the people that they call their friends. And I also like to see how they operate with the people they call their friends when their friends are not there. So
okay, so it should be like that thing where it's like, Ayo is my friend, Jay, but then when I hang out with you, I'm like, oh my God, you can't believe what happened with Ayo. So for you, it's like a telltale sign of how I treat people that I call friends.
yeah.
So then you're gonna know that when I leave this, I'm gonna go to Ayo and be like, so listen, what happened was, I sat with Jay.
I've actually had an experience where somebody I still don't call my friend, when I was around them and their friends weren't around, they would basically like air out all their friends' business. They would trash talk their friend, and then they say, oh, well, I told them, and I was like, but did you tell them? And then when their friends were around, that wouldn't be part of the conversation. That's not something that they would talk about or discuss. And that's not something they would tell their friend they've told other people. So I was like, yeah, no, I can see what kind of friend you are.
You are. That's a telltale sign, and you can't ignore that, because it can be detrimental, especially if you tell them something that needs to be held in confidence. And I say one of my favorite ones was somebody saying that, think about somebody who has been to jail for stealing. Like, that's like the worst one again. They steal. Everybody knows they're a thief, okay? But you say, you know what? They're my friend. They'll never steal from me. They will not steal when it's good. But when things go south, they are going to steal everything like that has your name to it. So I think it comes down to character.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That matters.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna go to my next question. Why is it hard to release friendships with grace?
Because we want to be mad. Because our pride tells us that we should be mad and we should hold on to it. Because our ego doesn't allow us to just move past it. Because we made a choice and now the choice is hurting us.
And now I can't be found responsibility for a choice I made.
Yeah.
So now I have to be upset and maybe try to find blame in the other person. But while we all play a role in our own suffering.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's always painful releasing any kind of friendship. But if you remember that you loved that person and that you did have good times and out of the bad times they taught you something, it's so much easier to let them go. I don't have a problem letting anybody go.
If it's time, it's time.
If it's time for you to go and this is where your season or your time with me has come to an end and it's not working for you anymore and you're just like, I don't want to be in your ecosystem, hey, I wish you all the best in your own environment.
Okay, Jay, we're almost at the end of this. And this is the one question I was like, I think it was important to me to let like our audience know that sometimes we feel guilty when I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, but now I just want to kind of focus on that. That when we're leaving friendships or when we're deciding this environment is not nurturing for me anymore, we tend to go through different motions where sometimes it's going to range from guilt. And sometimes you're going to miss them because they've been a part of your life, you know? And sometimes you're like, oh, it's for my growth. Like different reasons, the reason you're leaving. But also you have to consider them too, that it might actually be good for them, that the next time you see that, you might actually be stifling a part of their growth, because whatever you guys are going through, you might be I don't know if there's anything called over caring, like you care too much or you give too much, that they don't have room to experience themselves as a giver.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly the one who's doing all these things. So how can distance sometimes create growth on both sides?
Distance is really important, even in friendship, because we need that distance in order to continue to grow as we're in this relationship together. So if you look at a forest, the trees are not all right beside each other.
No.
You can walk through them. We need to keep
Some
that.
of them are like,
I mean,
they're in love.
when trees grow like that, it's actually one tree growing to support the other.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. It's actually really cool.
That is cool. Actually.
Right? They like grow
Fun fact.
intertwined to ensure that the other tree that's weaker is able to grow taller.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not always the case. A lot of trees are somewhat independent. They might be the same tree, but they grow with spaces in between each other. Distance in friendship, like if we're walking away, it can be a beautiful storm. It's painful. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We have to face the guilt of, did we mess up? Did we make a mistake?
That's the
And-
hardest one.
It is, but until we are honest with each other or honest with ourselves about where we are, we don't actually grow from that. We don't learn anything from it. So we just have to do it. We just have to go through our emotion, and we have to be honest about where we are in those motions,
In those moments.
and not judgmental about
it. Like
progress.
allow yourself to feel it.
Yeah.
Don't judge it.
No.
But also, when in those moments where you're tempted to go back to that one
Don't.
doesn't save you, don't, trust the process. Just wait it out, like 3 days, 4 days, and then you'll see that if it's not meant for you to text, you will just not do it if you wait it out. Because sometimes it's just not for you, it's for them to experience themselves too. So they will need that distance, because we are on this planet to experience ourselves. So sometimes it's going to be very important that I honor your distance and you honor mine, and we continue to walk together simultaneously. So as we wrap up, I'm going to do, this is my favorite part. Jaleese, I'm going to need you to leave a message for her. If there's somebody right now who's in a season where they're trying to figure out their friendships, or they're just stuck, or they're trying to figure, they're losing branches, or they're miscategorized friendships, what would you tell her?
I would first say I have been there. I know what it is to lose a friend. I know what it is to realize that you are collecting leaves. I know what it is to have to literally cut off a branch. But I will tell you this, it's for your growth. Your healing process is going to take time. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not always going to be beautiful, but you will have peace if you go through the motion. Don't judge yourself for the mistakes that you've made. We all make mistakes and we're learning from them. That's part of the process. But your real friends will show up for you in ways you've never imagined they would before. Your real friends, your roots, they will make themselves known. You can't chase them. You can't force them to be who they're not. Just trust that who they show you they are is exactly who they're telling you they are, in their actions, in the way they love you, in the way they speak to you at your lowest moments, in the way they speak kindness to you, and the way that they root for you, cheer you on, and that's how you'll know.
Thank you so much, Jaleese. I am so happy that we got to have this conversation with everyone, and everybody got to sit in and listen. And I hope as you were listening, you felt like you were part of the conversation, you felt seen, you felt understood. And if you have more questions for her, send them in. And if you wanted to come and expand on some things, let me know. So for me, what I leave you with today, and from the learnings that I've learned about relationship and friendships, is that just have the wisdom. It's not gonna come all together in one. It's gonna come in pieces, like having this conversation. So everybody's gonna come in your life for a different reason. Some of them, again, is for a season. Some of them is help you transition into the new job. Help you, they're the first person you encounter when you move into a new city. So they're gonna be the one helping you transition into housing. Sometimes that's the only role they're meant to play. Trust that. Don't try to put it in now you load all your stuff that you're not supposed to load on them. So give yourself the grace and allow yourself the lonely moments where you get to sit with yourself and allow yourself to weigh in who's serving what purpose in your life. I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being with us today. My name is Gina. Till next time.
Fly, let me fly.